among you. Apologies for not being as present as I would love to be with you. I have had some severe technical difficulties. Curse that Mercury retrograde, man, but it is past us, and so everything seems to be in working order now. So here is yay. Um, as always, I'm hoping, wishing, and praying that you are doing just swell. And so I thank you for taking this time out to be with me. I thank you for continuing to support me and just watch. And, anything resonates with you, I'm so happy that it does. If it doesn't, like I said, leave it. And, hey. So today I wanted to talk about, let me adjust myself, get a little comfy here while I talk to you. So today, what I wanted to talk about was addiction, but not the way that we normally think of addiction. You think of addiction, we think of being addicted to drugs, possibly even gambling. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the everyday addictions that a lot of us have, or addiction, should I say, that a lot of us have. And that is this addiction we have to pain, to struggle, to strife, to disappointment, to just simply not getting what we want. How many of you know and understand that you can become addicted to a certain way of being, and that is the thing that can keep you stuck in that thing. I've been doing a lot of just internal examination of myself and what it is that I want in life and how to get to those things. And one of the things that I became aware of is that it has become so commonplace for me to expect to be disappointed. I have been disappointed so many times in my life that I expect it. I have another friend, a really good friend of mine. She speaks often when we speak of how she generally has an expectation when she walks into a room that she's going to be met with kind of some hostility, that when she walks into a room, people are not going to receive her well. What she's going to be met with is, who she thinks she is, because it's happened so often that that's just what she expects. Someone else close to me, she wants love, she wants good things to come her way, but she doesn't expect it to happen. She expects that it won't happen. She walks around thinking it would be nice if that happened, but she doesn't expect it, and it becomes an addiction. The thing that happens with us is physiologically, and there have been studies that have shown this, physiologically, negative experiences take up more space in our being, in our memory, and in our bodies. The negative stays with us. Meanwhile, positive experiences, while they're wonderful and we love them and we appreciate them, they don't take up as much space. So when positive things happen for us, it's a momentary yay, and then it's like, okay, on to the next. Whereas the negative lingers. And so it could have happened, one negative thing could have happened to us, but now it's forever shaped us. And now when we go forward, we're peeking around the corner like, is it safe over there? Because last time I went over there, this what happened to me. And that type of thinking only begets exactly what it is that you say you don't want. When we talk about pain, nobody wants to be in pain. We pretty much spend our whole lives trying to avoid it, but what we don't realize is the things that we do are actually attracting the very things we say we don't want to us. Stay with me. Stay with me. For those of you, who may want love in your life, well, you have to be vulnerable in order to get that love. But being vulnerable is scary, right? Because probably the last time you were vulnerable, you got hurt. And so you don't want to be hurt again. So you put this big old wall up so that you don't have to be vulnerable, because that way you're thinking you're keeping the hurt away. But guess what? You're also keeping the love away. And it's pretty much like that for anything. If you want something, you have to be vulnerable enough to allow it to come into your life. There is no protection. You can't keep yourself safe. You can't walk in and say, oh, I want this thing so badly, but it's probably not going to happen for me. So, yeah. And then when it doesn't happen, see, I knew it. I knew it wasn't going to happen for me. I knew. And that is a thing that I had to get real with myself about, because that's how I've been operating in life for a while. I've allowed the disappointments to pile up so high that I haven't expected. I want good things. I want them, but I haven't been expecting them. And what I've been doing is piling up all the negative things into this long list that I remember. I remember all of it. I remember everybody who hurt my feelings. I remember what you said, when you said it, how you said it. I remember this thing didn't happen for me the way I wanted it to happen. See? I remember all of it. The positives, on the other hand, it's like, oh yeah, that one thing that did happen that time. But see, it reminds me of, because if you don't know me, I am a movie and music fanatic. So there is a movie quote, a song lyric that I can use for every occasion. So what comes to mind for me is the movie Pretty Woman. Julia Roberts' character is Vivian, the wonderful, lovable prostitute with a heart. Ha. But there's a scene where she's laying in bed with Richard Gere's character, Edward. And they're talking about her life and how she wound up in prostitution. And she says to him, people put you down enough, you start to believe it. And he says to her, he then goes on to say all these wonderful things that he sees about her. And he says, I think you're a wonderful woman, many talents and all of that. And she looks at him with kind of this sad smile and says, the bad stuff is easier to believe. And unfortunately, that's how a lot of us, myself included, have been going around living our lives. We have become addicted to being abused, to being rejected, to being mistreated, to not getting what we want. We've become addicted to the disappointments, to the sadness, to the hurts. We've become addicted to it, to where we expect it. That's easier for us to grasp. As Marianne Williamson said, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. No. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Let me tell you something. And understand, I'm saying it to myself just as much as I'm saying it to you. You are a light in this world. You were created for so much more than what you're settling for. I'm getting tears in my eyes as I say this because, like I said, I'm saying it for myself too. You are beautiful. You are awesome. You are magnificent. You were created for so much more than what you were settling for. You really were. I know the disappointments hurt. I know. I know you've been hurt. I know it sucks. It sucks. But don't you allow that to dim your light. You keep shining your light. You go forward, beaming your light as bright as you can beam it. And understand that whoever doesn't like it, let them move out the way. That's fine. Let them move out. It's too much for them. Okay, fine. But for the rest of us, don't deny us the pleasure of that. And don't deny yourself the pleasure. Don't you go another day expecting anything but the best for yourself. That's all I got for you. I love you. You can't do a thing about it. And so, yeah, just live well and prosper, man. Let that addiction go. Doesn't serve you. Become addicted to the beauty of life, the wonder of life, the joy. Expect it. Look forward to it. Expect to be loved for who you are, because, baby, you are brilliant. You are magnificent. And don't you ever forget it. Until next time, bye.